Okay, let's talk about a huge topic today, artificial intelligence. Now, if you're a junior business analyst, AI can feel like a secret superpower, right? A way to speed everything up. But, and this is a big but, if you use it the wrong way, it can completely backfire, damage trust with your team, and just stop your progress cold. So let's get into it.
Look, before we jump into the common mistakes, we need to get one thing straight. This is the golden rule. If you walk away with only one thing today, let it be this. AI output is just a draft. It is not the final product. Your real work, the important work, starts right after the AI finishes. Getting this into your head is the absolute key to using it right.
So you're basically at a fork in the road here. This one tool, AI, can either make you an incredibly effective analyst or it can just pour gasoline on all the bad habits that will hold your career back. And the wild part is, the difference isn't the AI, it's how you decide to use it.
All right, so we're going to break down 3 big mistakes that junior analysts are making with AI. And just to be clear, these aren't little technical slip-ups we're talking about. No. These are fundamental habits that, when you add AI to the mix, can go from a small issue to a massive problem if you're not paying attention.
First up, mistake number 1. I call this one the AI novel. You've seen it, right? You ask an AI to write something and it spits out pages of text in seconds. The trap is just taking all that text and copy-pasting it. Before you know it, you've got these long, rambling requirements that basically say the same thing 3 different ways. I mean, just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got this wall of words. It's vague, it's confusing, and it forces your developer to waste time just trying to figure out what you mean. But on the right, it's short, it's clear, it's totally actionable. That is what your team actually needs to get stuff done.
So how do you get from the bad to the good? It's all about a mindset shift. You have to stop being a copy-paster and start being an editor. Your real value isn't hitting the generate button, it's in the critical thinking you do afterwards to refine that output.
And here's the game plan. It's just 3 steps. First, you review everything the AI gives you. Second, you simplify the language, and I mean be ruthless about it. Cut every single word that isn't absolutely necessary. And finally, you refine it until it's so sharp and clear that nobody could possibly misunderstand it. Because let's be honest, no one wants to read a novel just to add a single field to a screen.
All right, on to mistake number 2. And this one is so important. Losing the big picture. See, a business analyst isn't a stenographer. Your job isn't to just write down whatever a stakeholder says. Your real job is to think, to analyze, to challenge, and to see the ripple effects of every little change. Just think about this. A stakeholder says, hey, just hide this field for me. The junior analyst just writes it down, task done. But the mature analysts, oh no, they immediately put on their detective hat. They start digging for all the hidden connections, the context that an AI just can't see on its own. You have to ask the tough questions like, is this field feeding into some critical report that the finance team depends on every month?
And what about compliance? Is there a legal reason this data has to be visible? Because that's a landmine you do not want to step on.
And then, the single most powerful question you can ever ask as a BA: what could break if we do this? This is where your human brain, your intuition, is totally irreplaceable.
This whole detective process, it has a name. It's called impact analysis. And it's really the art of seeing problems before they become problems. Your goal here is to have the answers ready before a developer even has a chance to ask the question. You want to completely get rid of that, I don't know, let me check, response.
And that brings us to our 3rd and final mistake, the useless minutes. Look, AI tools are fantastic at transcribing meetings, but that raw word-for-word transcript, that is not a deliverable. Your team doesn't need to know every single thing that was said. They need to know what was decided. On the one hand, you can send out pages of rambling discussion, which is totally useless. Or you can send out the highlights. Here's the decision we made. Here's what we all agreed on. And here's what happens next. That second option, that's what provides real value. That's what stops arguments from happening 3 weeks down the line. You know, there's a great line that sums this up perfectly. It's a reminder to keep it short and sweet. Your job is to boil the entire conversation down to its most essential parts. You're there to capture decisions, not the whole discussion.
So, let's wrap this all up. What's the big takeaway? It's actually pretty simple. AI doesn't create a new way of doing business analysis. It's just an amplifier. It takes the good fundamentals and makes them great. And it takes the bad habits and makes them so much worse.
So this is your new playbook. You're not a copy-paster anymore. You're the editor, creating clarity. You're not just a note-taker, you're the detective, uncovering the why behind the what. And you're not a transcriber, you are the scribe, documenting only what actually matters.
Because when you get right down to it, these aren't AI problems at all. They're business analysis problems. Mastering these fundamentals is what separates a junior analyst from a senior one, whether you're using AI or a pen and paper.
And that leaves us with one last thought. The AI can write, for sure, but can it think? Can it really analyze a situation? Can it anticipate what's around the corner? No. That's your job. That's where you provide value. And that is something no AI is ever going to replace.